Hello and welcome to another episode of Alex's Afternoon Art Show. Yet another Marvel vs. Capcom 2 drawing. This time we're doing Captain America. This is, I believe, part 6 of this series so far. And yeah, we've still got a lot of these left to do, just of the base roster alone. So yeah, let's get right into it. So, you might have even seen Captain America a little bit in the last one. So I'll just incrementally remove all the characters we don't need. So I'll remove all of those, and then we shall remove all the rest down here. We don't need any other characters going on right now. So, just remove Wolverine and Cyclops as well. So we've just got Captain America. Captain America, decided not to make him too big. Again, like height-wise, I didn't need to make him too big. I forgot to get my reference out, so I'll do that now while I'm just describing some things. But yeah, so I decided to give him the saluting pose because I thought that'd be fun. I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure this is, again, kind of the blended reference situation of where it's kind of partial full body reference. I used mostly the head and shoulders kind of stuff. The rest I kind of figured out myself. I only used bits of the head and shoulders. Like obviously I didn't color in the arm, or I didn't fill in the arm completely, because you can still see you can still see that I've left the kind of the framework of the kind of the base stuff that I do in the hand. But yeah. So I didn't detail it too much, obviously. But yeah, the shield, I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna have to do that as I go, I suppose, because I won't be able to do it. There's no point in doing it now, so I'll just do it as I go, I guess. I'll do it once I get into this. And yeah, that might be difficult. But yeah, there's a vast amount of Captain America here, which I don't really have to worry too much about. Just because of how much kind of real estate the shield fills. But yeah, I think this is a fun pose. He's got his little smirk. But yeah. Yeah, I think we'll just get into it. Because, to be honest, I'm not flush on time for this one, so we'll see how quickly we can get through this. You know, I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Captain America's original design. Well, I enjoy his movie designs and all that well enough, but yeah, I've always had a soft spot for this kind of design. And believe it or not, there are a lot of the characters that I am going to be drawing throughout this who are on my list of ones. Like I always talk about lists. But I do actually have a list of characters that I wanted to do drawings on or do art videos on. And there are times whenever I just kind of glance at those lists just for something to draw, just recreationally. But yeah, I always kind of intended on doing Captain America, particularly in his original design, for an art video, but I suppose here we are. But yeah, as I say, I've always kind of had a bit of a soft spot for this design. I've always quite enjoyed it. It's a very kind of nice classic design. But yeah, I suppose on a bounce board from some of the stuff we talked about from Guile, there is a tightrope that you walk whenever you're drawing any kind of big muscular character, and it is the Rob Liefeld effect. Specifically, if you've ever seen, if you wanted some good laughing material, you might look up Rob Liefeld Captain America, because there's a particular image you'll get of Captain America with a huge chest. And yeah, that's what likely happened there was reference gone wrong, of where basically whenever a lot of the time artists, myself included, will use bodybuilders as photo reference. I generally avoid using bodybuilders as photo reference because bodybuilders kind of don't have a natural body shape, and even like a superhero, like someone like Captain America, you'll want to have more of an athletic physique. You won't really want him to have like a big bodybuilder physique because that doesn't look right. Like even in the films, he has more of like an athletic look to him. He's not like a balloon, and he's not kind of got that kind of triangular shape of where it's all shoulders and then it tapers down. It's kind of more spread out, as someone more athletic would be. But yeah, this is the thing with a bodybuilder, you get kind of these slightly unusual proportions, and as well, a lot of the poses that bodybuilders use for photos are particularly to obviously make their muscles look bigger. So a particular pose that you'll often see is where they'll be holding their wrist like that. They'll be holding it out, or they'll be holding it close like that. And so the reason why they particularly hold that pose is because it flexes out their chest. Now, whenever you're referencing, generally speaking, particularly if you're drawing Captain America, you're not going to use that because you're going to want a shield in one of his hands. So it looked weird if he was doing that. So you just remove that part, and then you're left with an incredibly flexed chest. So it looks like a goddamn truck. If you don't change it any further than that, which is probably what happened. But yeah, that's just, I suppose, your little history lesson on that. And yeah, just I suppose on a springboard from the Guile topic, which was a lot about musculature and stuff like that. But yeah. So something I think I'd better draw attention to is that his shield here is obviously quite oblong in shape, and that's because there's a slight angle to it, which is where this stuff gets very difficult. So whenever there's slight angles involved, not perfect angles, like it's not an exact flat, but it's slightly over a little bit. It's slightly over here, more so than like flat center or flat to the side. It's slightly over, which is why the star here has a bit of an oblong weird shape, because it's off a little bit, and also the circle here is a slightly odd shape, so it's not going to have a perfect shape to it. But yeah, you may have also seen how I drew that star there. Stars often have a very kind of particular way of drawing them that makes them a lot easier. Like I suppose if I demonstrate here, you can do straight line like that, and then go from here down to here, and from here up to here, and from here down to there, and from there over to there, and there you got a perfect star. Simple as that. And you can start from any side, really. That's just the kind of easy little trick way, I suppose, to do it. But obviously I can do that a lot easier because I have the tools of Photoshop at my beck and call. So it's a little easier for me to do it than obviously if you were to do that with pen and paper. It's not too hard either way, but yeah. Something which I also want to mention here actually is that there is an ever so slight scale pattern to Bengus's art of Captain America. I'm not going to be doing the scale pattern. It's just going to take too long. And it doesn't appear in the sprite, so that's how I can get out of jail free here on this one. I just don't want to do it. It takes way too long to do. I like how it looks well enough, but Good God, have I not got the time for that. I have not got the time today. Okay, so that's our details done. That's the kind of the gist of it. I'm noticing, looking longer and longer at this shield, that it looks weird. But I don't think there's not much I can really do at this point. I think we're a little too late in now to going back and changing stuff like that. We're not exactly flush on time today. I would rather get this done sooner rather than having to kind of hang around. So I'm not going to be doing my little break that I normally do, which means my back is going to be killing me after I'm done today. But yeah, so we're just going to move on to the dots. They're first to be nice and small. There's some cars outside, so I don't know if that's picking up on the mic. Hopefully not. I don't know what they're doing. I can hear them in the distance, but I don't really see them. But yeah. As I said before, I do enjoy this Captain America design, and there's a lot of the characters within this that are on my list of characters that I wanted to draw and talk about anyway, so it's handy that I'm doing them now. And I don't have to put as much effort in, because they're much smaller on the page. And the resolution is lower, so I don't really have to worry about it as much, because there's no real point in doing hyper details on characters that are going to be tiny. Nothing to gain from doing that, so may as well just get these dots over with. Now, there's our dots done, so we can carry forward and get on to our colours. Now, I suppose some of the things that I want to talk about a little bit, I guess, with the colours are that usually I kind of like to give Captain America a bit of a kind of, what am I trying to say here? I usually like to try and give Captain America a little bit more of a kind of a lighter blue. A lot of stuff tends to use like quite a deep blue, but I like a lighter blue on his kind of costume. Yeah, I like to keep it to be a lighter blue. I think it just looks better whenever it's a lighter color. And yeah, so that's, I suppose, just the kind of primary thing I wanted to just kind of briefly touch on there was, yeah, I'll be using slightly lighter blue for his primary blue. I might make the blue here a different one. I think it's supposed to be the same blue. You know what, I'll keep it to be the same blue. I won't mix things up too much. But yeah, let me get to these colours then. Now, I still have to do my blue obviously, but there's a few little bits I want to tidy up with my white. Yeah, no. One of the things I was gonna say there is that, and this is something which I'm gonna say basically till the day I die. I think colors on superheroes in particular should really pop. Should kind of grab your eyes. They should hit you. They should pop out at you. I'm doing all these hand motions. And I don't know why. But yeah, like these colors should really kind of catch your attention. They should be really bright and colorful and really kind of draw you in. And in particular here, I'm also going for something a lot brighter than maybe what I would normally do. I normally try to go for vivid colors, but I'm also trying to get here colors that are really kind of, as I say, they really grab you. They're bright, they're pulpy. And yeah, this is the thing. These are the kind of colors that I'm looking for here. I'm looking for colors that are really gonna break out of the mold. They're gonna grab your attention. Let me bring this down a little bit more. And yeah, I'm going for a slightly brighter blue on Captain America here, which means I am going to need to turn off the background layer because it won't be visible. But yeah, I'm really going for these colors that really they stick out, and so whenever the gradient map goes on later, it kind of retains all the brightness of the colors, so that whenever the gradient map comes in, it doesn't wash out any of my colors, or it doesn't change them too much. They still remain very bright and colorful, and it just kind of enhances them. It tilts them into a slightly more consistent direction, just so that there seems like there's a color palette going on, even though there isn't. But yeah, that's the kind of the thing that I always like to do when it comes to my colors. I want them to stand out. I want them to grab you. They should always, yeah, like be very vivid, and especially on superheroes, they should always be really vivid and colorful and all this stuff. All these other words that I'm grasping at and kind of fumbling around with. So now the colors are done. Now it's just the shading. That's about it. Then we're going to do the light line, and then we're completely finished. So you might have seen me screwing around there with the with our blue, and the reason for that was that, so the thing is, the colors on my tablet here aren't exactly accurate to how they come out on screens. So it's handy that since I'm recording, I can see it in front of me just how it's coming out here. And I was kind of fiddling around with it to make that blue a little deeper, because obviously on my tablet it's coming out exactly how I want it to come out. I picked the color myself, and I was like, oh, I was happy with that color. But then on screen, it's not quite as deep as I want it to be. So I have to kind of fiddle with it a little bit, and then it comes out whichever way. Like, I mean, you can see Cyclops there. I'll say it here, Cyclops is a hell of a lot brighter here than he is actually on my monitor. On my monitor, this is a much darker blue. But then with Captain America, his blue on screen is much lighter than the blue I have on my tablet. So that's just, I suppose, your little bit of trivia about how this works. But yeah, I'll grab my colors, and then I'll get to doing our shading. I've already talked about how I wanted all these colors to kind of bulge out and pop and all this other stuff, and I think, yeah, they all kind of feel appropriately kind of pulpy and juicy colors. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, that's all our shading. That's just the light line left. I had intended on leaving a little bit of this shield unshaded, just for the sake of keeping it a little bit more of keeping some of the original color in there. But I think it looks better like this. It looks better whenever it has no more intense kind of two-tone shading going on. I'm adding a third tone anyways with the light line. But yeah, let's grab my colors here, and then I'll do that, and then we'll wrap up. Because yep, that's it after this. adjust my brush size. And then, very quickly, I can do this. Okay, so that's basically Captain America done. Turn off the background. Yep, still looks good. And I'll turn on the other characters now. Turn on Ryu and Jill. Turn on, close this folder. Turn on Cyclops and Wolverine. Oh, I can turn on Guile as well. I forgot about Guile. Now we've got 6 characters. And yeah, Captain America fits in nicely. His blue stands out a good bit. And yet, to be honest, I'm not fully sold on the way that this light line on the shield came out. But I'm not about to go back and change it now. And yeah, the sun is setting, so I suppose we'll get ready to wrap up here. But yeah, I'm not entirely sold on how that color came out in his shield. Or how that light line came out in the shield. It's maybe a little too bright. Oh well. Yeah, again, I'm not about to go and change it now. And I'll probably just leave it like that. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I tried to kind of maybe, like, that. I left this slight little line around it just to see if that made it look any better, because it looked weird whenever it was the straight line that went around the edge of it, but it didn't really help any, as far as I could tell. But yeah, that's our 6 characters now. As we're going, it's going to be a case where our zoom is going to be a lot bigger. It's going to be a lot more zoomed out. But now, what character is next time? I believe our next character is going to be Sakura from the Street Fighter series. And yep, that's our next Capcom character that we'll be doing. But yeah, so I'll wrap up here. So, if you like the video, do what you normally do. No pressure here. Not about to tell you to go and do it. Do it if you want. You can also subscribe if you want. Again, do what you like. Do what you normally do. I'm not gonna pressure you in any way. It helps, but I don't care. And if you decide to watch the next video, I'll see you then. Again, the outro I often forget. This time I did not. That's also because I only did the Guile one yesterday. It's been very warm right now, even though it's getting dark. Hence why no dressing gown. But yeah, I suppose that's it. I can just say goodbye, and that'll be it. So, bye bye.